I first grabbed 5 of these skulls that are on some stands at Dollar Tree. These are really easy just to take right off the stand. Now you want to put a little bit of heat on the back of the skull. This will soften up the plastic, and then just use a sharp box cutter and start cutting the back of it. I started with my box cutter and then just used my pair of scissors to finish it off. And you want to just do this so that way the skull will lie flat. So that way it'll be a lot easier to put onto your wreath. And again, you want to just do this to all 5 of them. Now I wanted to start with a darker base coat, so I'm using some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. This actually only required 1 coat. Chalk paint is amazing when it comes to coverage, so paint all 5 of those and allow that to dry. And once those were dry, I'm going to go over it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. Now for this part, I put a small amount of the paint on my paintbrush and just kind of did a dry brush method. All that means is I just went very lightly with my paintbrush. You want to make sure you're not covering the entirety of the black underneath, so that way you could still see some of those details in the skull. And just make sure you go very lightly over the skull's eyes, because you want that to be the darkest part. Then I got this big boy 18-inch wreath frame from Dollar Tree. I just began wrapping around some ribbon. This is just going to, again, make it easier for everything to hold on to the wreath, just a lot easier. And as you could tell, I did leave some gaps in between the ribbon. There's a reason for that. Again, it is just so I could have some of my florals that I'll be using, just to make it easier to go inside of that wreath frame. And once you have that ribbon all attached, just secure it with some hot glue. Now grab any kind of florals that you want from Dollar Tree. I started to add the flowers, but don't do that. Start adding the skulls first. So the way that I attach them, I'm using my glue gun to actually create a hole at the top of the skull. There was already some holes at the bottom, and I just fed through some strings to the top and the bottom. And when I go to attach them to the wreath, I still am using some hot glue and Dollar Tree Fix All adhesive glue, which is just an alternative to E6000. So glued that and then use the string to tie it off just for that extra support. Just tighten it as tight as it'll go and triple knot it. And then once the skulls were put on, now's the fun part. You just start adding your florals and add as much as you want or as little as you would like. I started off with the big flowers. I just took them off their picks and just began gluing them all throughout the wreath frame. And once I had the big ones put on, then I started just to fill it up with some of the smaller florals that I purchased. I believe I purchased about 10 bundles for this 18-inch wreath frame. And then just add as many florals as you want until you are satisfied. And there you go, guys. This came out super cute, a little spooky, a little sweet. I hope this inspires you to create your own in your own special way. If it did, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank you so much, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.